A tech entrepreneur from San Francisco was forced to apologize for his insensitive comments about the homeless problem in that city. Justin Keller, developer and founder of Commando.io, wrote an open letter to San Francisco Mayor Ed Lee in which he used words like riffraff and called San Francisco a shanty town. The outrage was swift. It's a familiar story, said the Guardian newspaper, and it described the author as a male entrepreneur. Some might even call him a tech bro, flush with his sense of self-worth and self-satisfaction that comes from living and working in a city and industry that treats him and his friends as the most important and intelligent human beings ever to grace a metropolitan area with their presence. But he shouldn't have apologized. Everything he said was correct. I just got back from San Francisco, and here's a picture of me standing in front of a bridge to prove it. It is a potentially beautiful city. I'm sure it once was, but it isn't anymore. Everything the tech bro said is right. The streets smell like bathrooms, and the bathrooms smell worse. All parks are essentially being used as campgrounds, so there are no public spaces. And I only went to the good neighborhoods. That's what I do. It's not a knock on poor people. It's a knock on people who run that city. San Francisco politicians, you are not the compassionate ones. Bonnie McFarland, you're a comedian. Yep. San Francisco's a comedy city. You probably go there all the time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
What? Don't tell me when you walk the streets of San Francisco, you're not accosted by panhandlers every 10 seconds.
I get it. You think like I leave my hotel room. I don't. Sometimes I'll watch the channel that tells what's going on in the city, and then I feel like I've got it. You know?
I see.
But
yes.
Otherwise.
Look,
I do, I love homeless people. I wouldn't want a world without them. So I give them money. You're not supposed to. You know that, right? You're not supposed to give homeless people money because we all know what they want to spend the money on.
Yes.
A home.
Yeah,
And, yeah, we don't need any more high-risk buyers in the market.
Well, look, the thing is, Andy, they pretend to be so compassionate out there in San Francisco, but they're not doing the homeless any favors because it's not getting any better out there.
No, and that was sort of, look, you started by saying a tech entrepreneur from San Francisco was forced to apologize.
Yes.
This is happening every day now. This is a story every day where a tech entrepreneur in San Francisco has to apologize. I think this guy is not a bad person. He's just a really, really bad writer. Because I think he was saying sort of what you were saying. He was saying it wasn't a knock on the poor people. He was saying it was a knock on the people who run the city, which he tried to explain afterwards. But once you've written something that badly, there's no way out of it. Because what he wrote, you remember that Matt Damon movie, Elysium, that came out a couple years ago?
Yes.
And it was the earth was full of poor people who were barely surviving, and all the rich lived in this luxury space station. What he wrote was the prequel to that. He's just a bad writer.
But that prequel isn't that public policy writ large. The prequel to that movie is America's liberal-run cities.
Well,
right, Liz?
Welcome to Berkeley 1982. Only now you can, thanks to this guy, have gourmet food delivered to their park bench thanks to Spoon Rocket. I'm surprised he didn't come up. I'm really surprised he didn't come up with some type of, oh, dude, isn't there an app for that to get rid of the homeless? Yes, it's called Gather Them Up and Move Them to Cleveland. And I think that, honestly, I lived in San Francisco. I lived in Berkeley. It is a huge problem in California. Panhandlers, the homeless, and I understand his emotion. He just, yes, he didn't phrase it very well.
Does Spoon Rocket deliver in New York?
Not yet, I don't think.
Man.
Well, look, the streets that I was walking on, like I said, I wasn't going into the bad neighborhoods, and I wasn't seeing, Michael, homeless people like destitute. I was seeing a lot of what I would call urban campers, people with guitars and people in the parks who are living there in tents, who, probably came from a middle-class home somewhere in the suburbs.
And surprisingly, because I was in San Francisco not long ago, surprisingly, a lot of young people who think it's still Haight-Ashbury out there, who want to live in the sleeping bags and finger their love beads and play their guitars and not get a job, and a liberal city like San Francisco will support their laziness.
There it is.
Very aggressive.
I know.
And I don't like the kid, by the way, who attacked homeless, because I hate those little 12-year-old multimillionaires out there. I hope I live long enough to see that tech bubble burst, and they're sleeping in sleeping bags.
Doesn't like any of them. Coming up.